Welcome back everyone, this is MandoAllDay, back with another video, and in this video, I'll be doing an overview of Batman the Detective, the hardcover. I'll be talking about a little bit of the story, the art, and of course, if it's worth your purchase or not. Before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button to not only support channel, but to keep up to date and watch videos like this. So let's take a look at front of the dust jacket, the spine, the back, and I'll do a full spread image of the dust jacket. You guys can see that. Alright. Put this to the side. Front of the book. The side. Or the back, actually. Front of the book. Well, I guess I could say the side. The back of the book. And I'll show you a full spread image of the art. You guys can take a look at that. Alright, now let's take a look at what's inside. So, what is this book about? So the book starts off with a horrific plane accident that occurred in the United Kingdom. Come to find out that the plane was owned by Wayne Industries. So Batman now has to travel to the UK to investigate what happened, but more importantly, who did this and why. And that is the gist of the story. It's only 6 issues, and it's very, very short story, very by the numbers. But I gotta say, I actually like the story. I will say though is this. The first half of the book, it's very by the numbers. And what I mean by that is this. Is very by the numbers in terms of bad guy does something or something bad happens, Batman has to go investigate, come to find out that this bad guy wants to do this, that's that. It's very by the numbers. Nothing really original happens in the first half of the book. And I've said this before and I'll say it again, nothing wrong with having a very simple premise, but more importantly is how you execute your version of this particular story or premise. And the first half, it's very not bad, but it's very by the numbers. Like I said, there's no other way to put it. Very by the numbers in terms of, okay, Batman starts investigating, find out that it's related to Batman somehow. The further he investigates, he captures one of the henchmen, gets info, and then finds out that this person is somehow related to or somehow connected to Batman. I'm trying to be vague, so I don't want to give away anything. So again, the first half of the book, it's very by the numbers. And when I was reading it, I was like, okay, it's fine. Nothing wrong with it. I don't hate it or anything. It's fine. But the second half, I actually enjoyed it a lot more because what Tom Taylor does is adds more character depth to the villain. And there's more to the villain than just villain wants to do villainous things. And that's what really caught me off guard and made me really enjoy this book even more. Again, it's going to be the second half. The first half, it's fine. Like I said, very by the numbers. The second half, though, that character arc of that villain, I was like, oh, not arc, but depth to the villain. I was like, okay, I actually like this. And having this certain cameo of a certain character, which I won't say because I'll spoil it, but there's a cameo here of a certain character, or I'll just say it's a mentor for Bruce, and having this character involved within the story, and of course the villain itself and their motivation, I actually really enjoyed the book a lot more than what I expected. I know the reviews of this book haven't been really good, but to be completely honest with you, I think it's the fact that the first half is very, like I said, very basic, nothing original, nothing interesting happens. It's just Batman investigates, oh my god, he finds out it's related to him. The further he investigates, bad people arrive. Again, it's very, I'm trying to be very vague, so I don't want to give it away, but it's very, very basic, and that's fine. The first tab is very basic. It's very like, okay, I've read this before, something similar. What makes this one unique and different? And again, the first half is very like that. The second half, though, is actually more interesting. Like I said, they really add more depth to the villain, and that's what I like. That's what hooked me in even more. I was like, oh, okay, I want to see how this turns out. And the story progresses, and the outcome of the book and what happens at the end, it's actually pretty darn interesting, and it's kind of sad too. It caught me off guard. So overall, though, this book, I actually like this book. I really, really enjoyed it. But again, the first half, it's not bad. It's just kind of like, okay, cool, whatever. Second half, yes, I really, really enjoyed it. Now, the paper quality, it is matte paper, and I think for this particular story and art, the matte paper is fine. None of the art really does pop, to be completely honest with you. It's not bad or anything. It's just, it never really pops. It's just kind of like, oh, it's cool, it's there, it's fine. In terms of the pacing, I would say it's about above average. There are some very few moments that it digs to like the average territory, but for the most part, it's going to be above average. Honestly, I can see someone like reading this within an hour. So pacing wise, it's about above average. Do you need to have prior knowledge? No, you could. The only prior knowledge you will need to have, honestly, is just going to be who Bruce Wayne is and Batman is. If that's the knowledge you have, you're perfectly fine. Because I literally got this book just because it was on sale for $8 brand new, and they don't know anything about it. Bought it, it arrived, opened it up, started reading it, perfectly fine. So again, this is one of those books where you don't need to have any prior knowledge. So if you're bored, have nothing else to do, you just want to read a very simple Batman story, this is it. This is one of those books. And it's cool action scenes, cool fighting, very interesting things happens towards the second half. Character development, some twists and turns here and there. Of course, some cameos. I don't want to spoil anything. But overall, like I said, I really enjoyed this book for what it is. And again, it's a very simple premise story. But at the end, I really enjoyed it and it really hooked me in. So to me, Batman the Detective, the hardcover, gets a thumbs up for me. Let me know what you guys think. Have you read this book? Do you plan on reading this book? Leave it in the comment section below. As always, make sure you hit the subscribe button to not to support channel, but to keep up to date and watch videos like this. This includes an overview of Batman the Detective, the hardcover, and on to the next one.